So what I have in front of me is a Samsung Galaxy smartwatch that I bought a few weeks ago for $4.50. Now if you look up the model number on the back of this watch, you'll see that this is actually a 4th generation Samsung Galaxy watch, and it's very obviously cosmetically damaged. Now this video is going to be a little bit more interesting because I've never actually used a smartwatch, so I don't know how this thing works in the first place. I did actually get a charger for this thing. I suppose it charges wirelessly because I don't see a port anywhere. Now, I've actually been putting this off for a few weeks now because this seemed like a really good deal. I mean, how can you not profit off of a smartwatch that you get for $4.50? But as it turns out, these things are only worth like 70 bucks in brand new condition. And unfortunately, the most expensive component of this thing is the screen. So if you're just here to see if I make any money on this, the answer is going to be no. I'm considering just keeping this thing because I don't currently have a smartwatch, and the price of shipping included to this thing, I don't even think I'd break even. So this is the charger for Samsung that I bought online for $6.29. And I guess the first step here is just going to be to charge this thing on it. I'll give it maybe an hour sitting here on the charger and then try to power it on. So luckily this cord just barely stretches from my power supply. I suppose we just place this thing on the charger? Oh. It's magnetic, and actually I can see a little charging icon on the screen. Well, there we go, it's at 49%, so I just need to figure out how to turn this thing on. Now when I press this little red button, it shows me the battery life, so it's at 50% right now. Obviously the gyroscope is working here. So I guess I don't need to, but I'm going to let this thing charge up for a little while, and I'll resume the video once it's charged. This thing jumped up to 100% concerningly quickly. I'm not sure if that's normal, but I mean, I looked over 10 minutes ago and it was at 60%, and now it's at 100%. Now, I don't know if this little red button is the power button, but I'm going to press and hold it and see. Oh, there we go. So when this thing turned on, I felt a little vibration, so I guess that means that the motor in here is still functioning. I don't know if this thing has been factory reset, but it's taken a really long time to turn on. Maybe it's doing some sort of initialization routine. Oh yeah, that definitely seems like it's factory reset. Man, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. This thing actually gets pretty hot, and I'm not sure if it's just because it was charging, or if it's going to feel like that on my wrist. I guess I'm going to turn this thing back off, and we need to obviously replace the screen. So I don't know if you can see it, but the screws on this guy are super tiny. I don't know if I have a bit that actually fits in there. So when I ordered this thing, I actually thought that it was going to be glued together. And I'm kind of pleasantly surprised to see screws on this guy. It felt like we were stripping that screw out, so I'm just going one size up. My God, this screw is tiny. It was a struggle to pull that out of there. So it looks like there's a little seam right here that I guess I'm just going to stick a pry tool into. Oh boy, I was turning it on while I'm prying it open. So I don't know if you can see this little ring around here. I thought that this was glue. It's actually just some kind of seal. There's this ribbon cable right here that's connecting the base to whatever this is right here. And I think I should just be able to pop up this little connector. There we go. Now there's a different kind of screw right here that seems to be holding this main board down. And there's 2 more ribbon cables connected to this main board that I should probably pull up before I take the board off. Now I'm just going to pull this board up. Man, I was not expecting to have to do so much to get to this screen. I don't even know how I can get this little thing out of here. I don't see any screws. Maybe I can just pull up on it? I think this is the point where I have to consult a teardown. So in this iFixit guide that I was looking at, they pry the battery up out of here, and then the article says to shake out the rest of the components. So I guess that's what I'm going to try and do. So I've pulled out this battery and it seems like it was glued down right here. There was some kind of adhesive holding these contacts up. Now, I have absolutely no idea what they meant by shake out the rest of the components, but nothing is happening here. So I went ahead and watched a video, and it looks like what they did is actually get a spudger underneath the frame here and slowly pull that up. And now we are actually down to just the screen and this little metal frame right here. Now, luckily and somewhat unluckily, I wasn't able to find just the screen right here, so I had to go ahead and buy this entire enclosure. And that cost me a painful $27.31. This right here is the replacement screen. This was sold to me as working. I haven't actually verified it yet, obviously. It's got a black coating on the outside, which I like a lot more than the pink. But it does have a little bit of a scuff right here in the metal, which kind of does suck, but the screen is actually intact. So I suppose what we're going to do now is put this little plastic carriage back into the shell. I believe this is the way it goes in because these two little buttons line up with the buttons on the shell. So I guess we're going to put the battery back on here, which I did not have to take out, and I foolishly did. I hope there's enough adhesive on here to stick that contact back down. So now this board goes back on here. So I've got it held in place. I'm just going to put the screw back in. Now let's attach our ribbon cables. Now this is definitely the most delicate part here. I think I got it in there. So now I'm just squeezing it back together. There's some plastic clips. Let's give this guy a power on test before I put the screws back in. Just fine. Very cool, so we've got this thing up and going. Let's clean all my nasty fingerprints off of it. Now that is a nice clean and shiny watch. So the final thing I've gone ahead and bought for this watch is this band, and it cost me $5.97. And that brings us to a total of $49.85. I think I've done it. And now what I gotta do next is actually set this thing up, and I want to upgrade it to the latest firmware version. Just a few days ago, they actually came out with a new firmware update for this guy to bring it to the latest version of Wear OS, with the new One UI 8, I think it is. So I want to get it fully updated, and then I guess I got myself a little smartwatch. So I've got this thing set up and connected to the internet. I started installing the newest version of the operating system, and this has been running for probably like 15 minutes now. And there we have it. My watch is functioning, nearly dead at the moment. Now, since I'm a programmer who has acquired a new device that can run code, I had to write an app. So now you can see the channels linked up, and there we go, stats on my wrist. We actually just hit 10,000 subscribers, and that was pretty much completely from the CPU video. So for all of you that are coming back to watch my new stuff, thank you very much. I had an unusual amount of comments about my hands last video, so if you want me to model for you, I'm 100% down. Shoot me an email. I will sell you some hand pics. And on that note, I will see you next time.